Now look at the notes for Extract 1. Extract 1, questions 1 to 12. You hear a gastroenterologist talking to a patient called Andrew Taylor. For questions 1 to 12, complete the notes with a word or short phrase. You now have 30 seconds to look at the notes.
Good morning, Mr. Taylor. Now, you've been referred to me because it's possible that you're suffering from irritable bowel syndrome or a related condition?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, could you start by giving me some background?
This has been going on for many years. After meals, I've always tended to get heartburn, but I found that pretty easy to deal with by taking antacids from the pharmacy. But a year ago, things suddenly got worse, and there were other problems I started to notice. The symptoms vary a lot, and they can be quite hard to describe exactly, but the main problem is bloating.
I see.
I need to tell you about some other things related to my stomach.
Mm-hmm.
Although this isn't something that happens every day, I've been suffering from constipation in the last month. In the past, I've had the opposite problem and would rush to the toilet several times a day.
Mm.
I just never know how I'm going to feel from one day to the next. It's the way the symptoms are so unpredictable that I hate.
Mm.
It's hard to plan my life.
Were there any other symptoms unrelated to your stomach and bowel?
Well, I have a skin condition that can flare up, and I know this could be related to irritable bowel syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
And the odd thing is that I often have migraines more or less at the same time as the stomach discomfort, and these can go on for days. It's strange, and I didn't at first think it was anything to do with my stomach problems.
Have you noticed anything that can intensify the symptoms in any way?
Well, I have a very demanding job as an accountant. I don't know whether this has a bearing on anything, but there's a chance I might lose my job in a reorganization of my department, so that's obviously something that's making me anxious. I don't know what's going to happen.
What's the worst effect the condition has on you?
The problem isn't just that it's nearly always on my mind unless there's some pretty big distraction, but also that it's so draining. What I mean is I often feel that I've got no energy at all. I just want to sit around and do nothing when I get home from work, to be honest. I go to bed tired, but I'm frustrated because I have insomnia much more than I ever did before. I wouldn't say I've been suffering from depression, but a condition like this can make you feel rather down.
Right. And I understand that you've investigated the possibility that your diet's responsible for your condition. Can you tell me about this?
I was told by a nutritionist I saw that people with irritable bowel syndrome often don't eat enough fiber. In my case, I don't feel that's an issue. I've followed the nutritionist's advice about taking more fluids during the day, especially water, and accept that in the past, maybe I didn't do that enough. It's hard to say whether that's made a difference, but possibly it's caused a slight improvement.
Uh-huh.
I'd read that dairy products can make things worse, so I tried cutting them out, but I wasn't convinced it made any difference. I've cut back on caffeine, though not much, actually. I also paid for extensive food allergy tests, but they didn't show anything major, so that's not an area my doctor thought was worth investigating further.
What medications have you tried?
Well, I took something called an antispasmodic,
Yep.
which my GP says helps to relax the muscular contractions which move food through the gut, but to be honest, I don't think it made much difference in my case.
Have you taken anything else?
Well, I've been given antidepressants, and I'm giving them a go. I wasn't sure I completely understood the reasons.
Okay, well, a drug like that targets the signals being sent to and from the nerves in the digestive system. It has a calming effect on the muscles there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you find that this drug was effective?
Yes, I'd say it was on the whole.